Welcome to SK Wealth Academy podcast number 132. Why TikTok millennials need to stay away from Robinhood and binary option scams. Now, the reason I uploaded this particular podcast with that cheesy photo with a smile and a stock chart just rising into the heavens is because I want to talk about the real danger of TikTok millennials trading options on the Robinhood platform that they cannot see because they're blinded by greed at this current time. Now, a lot of the most watched YouTube videos about Robinhood option trading strategies are produced by millennials with such a cheesy picture to elicit attention. Look at all this money I made on Robinhood. Same thing. Now you have all of a sudden these financial advisors going on TikTok advising other millennials on how they should trade on Robinhood. What is Robinhood? Because if you're not a millennial, you probably don't even know. Robinhood is the fastest growing trading platform. It added more than 3 million users as of May 4th of this year. So now that you have May, June, July, August as well, 4 more months, they probably added millions of more users because as of the next month in June 8th, their desktop and mobile weekly visitors were up 332% versus the prior year, according to research from SimilarWeb. So their growth rate is more than twice that of their next closest competitor. So the problem that I want to talk about today is that Robinhooders are trading options that have zero experience. And that is a behavior that should never happen. Even to my SK Wealth Academy patrons, in which I provide option trading strategies, that well over 90% of my strategies have yielded enormous profits, often well over 100% profits in just a couple of weeks. Because with option trading today, nothing is ever long term. You shouldn't be trading options like 6, 7, 8 months out. You should be in and out in anywhere from just a couple of weeks to, I would say, a few months. But most likely you're going to make profits if you're in and out in just a couple of week time frame. That's not to say that your expiration date shouldn't be longer dated, because the higher the closer the expiration date of that option is to the current date, the higher the risk. So in any event, even to my patrons, like I said, I always preface every strategy that I give, my option trading strategies, in saying that no one without a solid background in option trading should enter the strategies I discuss on my SK Wealth Academy Patreon platform. And the reason being is that if you don't have a background in trading options, you have to know, just like a surgeon, like I've talked to, being that I majored in neurobiology in university and talked to surgeons, they have told me, hey, surgery is really easy. The difficult part is knowing what to do if something goes wrong. But if everything goes according to plan, surgery is easy. Option trading is like that as well. If everything goes according to plan and you're making a profit, everything is easy, as long as you're intellectual enough to get out while you have a profit and don't lose it all. Because options trading strategies, there's risk to everything. So it's just like if you go to Macau and gamble in the casino and you play blackjack, eventually your roll of good luck is going to run out. So if you keep playing, you're eventually going to lose all your profits. Same thing that happens in options trading strategies as well. So I warn against trading any options I warn against trading any option strategies on the most heavily traded stocks on the Robinhood platform to my patrons, which again, I will explain why. I'll refresh your memory if you're a patron of mine, why you should not do this in the Patreon only podcast number 2 for this month of September, which I'm going to release in just a couple of days. So regarding TikTok Robinhooders, I think they can get rich with zero experience. Perhaps some of you have, but though you delusionally believe it's due to skill, it's due to luck more than anything else if you're a beginner. And as you all know, luck eventually runs out. And to all the 20-something millennial TikTok trading Robinhooders, I think they know more than me about the subject. Even though I work for a Wall Street firm, worked many years as a private banker and private wealth manager, the one thing I would say, because you won't even know this even if you are an MBA graduate, you won't understand the true mechanisms that drive stock prices, especially in today's environment. So if you can't explain how HFT trading, algorithmic trading works, and you don't even know what HFT stands for, if you can't explain how quote stuffing influences stock prices, if you can't explain how spoofing influences stock prices, if you can't explain how Momo trading works, if you can't explain what the term painting the charts, what window dressing means, what the Fed put is, why the US Central Bank had to call an emergency meeting to cut the Fed funds rate to 0 this past March, then you really understand nothing about stock pricing mechanisms. And that's why you shouldn't be trading as a beginner, especially option strategies on the Robinhood trading platform, and be impressed and follow and think that these people with cheesy photos, smiling, pointing to a stock price, to a stock chart of the stock price going way up and saying, I made all this money on Robinhood. Because my patrons know I gave them a gold mining stock that didn't even require entering options trading. Just going long the underlying stock that went up more than 1,650%. You don't see me posting any cheesy charts, cheesy videos on YouTube with me. Look, here's a stock I recommended that went up 1,650%, even though that's true, because you have to understand certain things. It'd be totally disingenuous of me to tell me that a beginner can get in, even if they follow the exact price points I gave to my patrons as far as buying this gold mining stock and then getting in at a certain price point that's low risk, high reward, is because you should still understand what you're doing if you're putting money into it. You shouldn't even be putting $100, let alone $5,000 into something that you don't understand. And I always stress that to all my patrons. And one more thing, I'll add to all those other terms. If you don't know what they are, you should never even be trading stocks, let alone trading much riskier option strategies. If you've never gone through a market crash like in 2008 and have no experience with the downside of markets that can precipitate seemingly out of nowhere, even though there's tons of red flags that precede such crashes by months. If you don't understand any of the terms, you're never, of course, going to see any of the red flags, because the mass media doesn't report on any of these red flags that pop up continuously before stock market crashes happen. And because of this, your total lack of experience with the down market, you foolishly believe that only stock prices can rise, and you should be out of trading on the Robinhood platform altogether. On the other hand, if you're able to explain all of these terms I just explained, then obviously you're not a beginner and you know 100 times more than any TikTok millennial trading on that platform, and you should be fine. Except for the fact that when Robinhood platform is down completely and you can't trade at all, because I've heard that has happened as well with the Robinhood platform. So David Goggins often said he strives to be uncommon among uncommon men. If you don't know, David Goggins he's really inspirational speaker, ex-Navy SEAL, that is just completes the most insane training schedule all the time. So go check him out. But I would say that people that want to trade options on Robinhood with zero experience as a beginner, like David Goggins is the uncommon among uncommon men, these people are the absurd among the most absurd among the absurd. So this message, again, is not directed at Robinhooders that have loads of experience in options trading. They really understand what controls stock pricing mechanisms, and they know what they're doing. It's only directed at the most dangerous segment of every population, the Robinhooders that think they know what they don't know. And for that segment, you are far more likely to suffer the same fate as that poor 20-year-old kid that had no idea what he was doing, but anyways, got influenced by all these social media influencers that told him they were making tons of money on the Robinhood app. So he started trading options. He looked at his account one day and saw a negative $730,000 balance and then killed himself because he didn't understand that the Robinhood app misreported his balance at times. And I didn't really follow the story closely, but I did read that he wasn't trading on margin, so that negative balance was an incorrect glitch in the Robinhood app. So the most money he could have lost, obviously, was the money that he had put into his option trading strategies. So I don't know how much it was. I don't know if it was $10,000, $20,000, which would still be, I'm assuming, a lot of money unless he's a trust fund kid. But if he's a trust fund kid, he wouldn't have committed suicide from losing $10,000 or $20,000, or even from thinking he lost $730,000 if he's a trust fund kid. So at first, I doubted that the owners of the Robinhood platform would approve margin trading on options for the millions of millennials that signed up on their platform that had zero experience trading options. Because if they did, that's really unconscionable greed and really an amoral way to run your business. But I think I was wrong, because apparently Robinhood has been flooded with complaints from TikTok millennials trading on margin that don't understand how they could have lost more money than they deposited into their Robinhood accounts, because they don't understand margin trading. So that tells me two things. Number one, all of them shouldn't be trading on margin. And number two, they should have never been approved by Robinhood to trade on margin. So the reason, again, to reiterate this point that I tell my patrons, that they shouldn't enter any of the option strategies I discussed, despite the enormous yields that I provided to my patrons that have enough experience to take advantage of the option trading strategies I discussed, is that everyone needs to understand how to minimize risk of losses when entering option strategies due to the enormous volatility that manifests in intraday trading today on put and call options contracts. So if you don't understand how to manage risk intelligently, like I said, you shouldn't even be putting $50 into an option strategy, let alone $5,000. And lastly, I just want to discuss, I watched an ad that popped up on my screen the other day for an app that will remain nameless because I don't want to get sued by some repugnant financial company that likely has deep pockets that might sue me for slander, even though everything I'm going to describe to you is true, because I wanted to see what kind of hopium this company was selling to people in their get-rich-quick scheme to make money off of the naivete and gullibility of other people. And the millennial male they used in the ad was comical because he used so many terms in describing how he made money off of this trading app that no experienced investor would use, even calling options on a specific company stock as trading company stocks. He said, I was trading stocks in Google. So I've never heard anyone use the plurality of stocks when referencing a specific company. Like, I'm buying Tesla stocks. I'm buying Amazon stocks. I just sold Apple stocks. I mean, when I watched the ad, it was clear they're selling viewers on this get-rich scheme of highly risky binary options, but they didn't even discuss that their options trading strategy revolved around binary options. That became clear when I watched the ad. So it's very misleading, and it says I hired an actor that clearly had no investment experience because he was using terms, and it was clearly written, the script was written for him to recite by another person that had zero experience in investing. And it also said, hey, if the trade goes the wrong way, you just cancel it. Hit the cancel button. And they implied that you could cancel a trade you entered scot-free and not lose any money, as if the whole binary options trading platform they are selling to you where it was entirely risk-free. So I'm sure once you sign up for it, in the disclaimer, it tells you how much money you could lose, but no one reads the fine print of that disclaimer. So there's no mention in the ad that canceling the trade means closing it at a loss, whereby You lose 100% of your bet on that binary option strategy if you close it out when it's not in the black, when it's in the red. So then the actor turned around and said, I was wrong on my last bet. This stock is going up. So now I'm going to bet on a payoff of 85% that the stock price keeps climbing to this price. And then the price goes up, it hits the mark. The actor says, I just made 85% with 1 minute of effort. As if trading binary options and making $8,500 on a $10,000 bet for 60 seconds of work is as easy as apple pie. So for those of you that don't know what binary options are, they're extremely risky options that sound exactly what the name implies. You make a binary bet that either the stock share price will either fall to or hit a certain price by a certain time. And just like Vegas, depending upon the time frame and the spread between the current share price at the time the bet is placed and the strike price at which the bet is placed, the payout will differ. So it won't necessarily be an 85% payoff. That would be for extremely risky bet. It could be a 30%, 40%, 55%, or limitless number of different payout percentages. Now, the comical thing about millions of millennials that know nothing about trading, flooding options trading platforms at the current time, as they don't even understand the risks before they start trading. They're merely lured by these misleading, deceptive, repugnant kind of ads of get rich quick promises. And secondly, is most millennials, at least the smart ones, only day trade Momo stocks. A handful have made big profits from that. I'm not saying that nobody with no experience hasn't made big profits off of trading Momo stocks, but that's more of a consequence of pure luck versus any type of understanding of the pricing mechanisms that actually gave rise to their profits. And unfortunately, they will believe that it is their skill that's responsible for their profits, not straight up luck, and they'll keep trading until the market crashes and they'll lose everything they have. So furthermore, TikTokers with zero trading experience that have been able to amass tens of thousands of followers by providing financial advice on TikTok that is of zero real value and zero legitimacy, yet every one of their words are waited upon with bated breath by thousands of other TikTok millennials that are entering options trading on Robinhood for the very first time in their lives. It's the blind leading the blind, with all the blind thinking they're visionaries. But as the saying goes, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And if you can't identify the one-eyed man, guess what? You are the mark. And if you have to ask that question, you don't know the one-eyed man that's king is the Wall Street Bank and the bankers using HFT trading algorithms, then you shouldn't be in the markets. So because enough millennials have influenced price behavior in just a handful of Momo stocks, and as long as there are millions of them influencing these Momo stocks, able to drive the price up, like I said, they can make profits, but it's from pure luck. And as a banker always does, once masses become delusional in their ability to trade and believe their luck is actually skill, what do bankers always do? They introduce unexpected volatility into the equation that will bankrupt loads of TikToking Robinhooders, because a factor of surprise and unexpectedness are factors that cause people with no trading experience to panic and do the wrong thing 100% of the time. And I know that these bankers will do that. And I will explain to my patrons, if you're a patron of mine watching this, why the bankers will take advantage of these TikTokers with zero experience and take all their money from them. That's a given. That is going to happen in the future. And I'll explain why I know that to you in my Patreon only podcast number 2 in September. That's going to be released in a couple of days. So, do I have anything else I want to say? Well, it's a good thing actually that these Robinhooders didn't enter the markets in February and March, because 90% of the trading accounts would have been cleaned out by the bankers if they had done so in March when the stock markets crashed. It's a good thing that they've only been in these markets to see the stock markets in the Momo stocks they trade move in one direction. So again, it's knowing what to do when the unexpected happens that will clean out these TikTok Robinhood traders. So just my public service announcement to you TikTok millennials, that I have no problem with TikTok millennials trading the stock market that have tons of experience, but that's the only people that should be in this market. So thanks so much for watching to the end. As always, remain intensely curious because curiosity elevates intellect. And if you're an intellectual, you will be trading these markets properly. So until next time, take care and thanks so much for watching.